Jeopardy! Introducing today's contestants. An engineering manager, originally from Chicago, Illinois, Tom Duffy. A graduate student from Skokie, Illinois, Kathleen McNutt. And our returning champion, a field application scientist, originally from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, Dave Pye, whose two-day cash winnings total $32,700. And now, here is the guest host of Jeopardy, Katie Curry.
Hi, everyone, and thank you, Johnny Gilbert. Welcome to Jeopardy. This has been an extraordinary experience for me. And on a personal note, it has made me respect Alex Trebek even more than I already did. Hosting this show is hard, and the fact that he did this while he was fighting pancreatic cancer, well, that was downright Herculean. I am so proud to help carry on his legacy and raise money for pancreatic cancer research. So Dave, Kathleen, Tom, you ready to do this thing? You win big. Jeopardy matches your winnings and gives it to pancreatic cancer research. So let's get started, shall we? With our first round of Jeopardy. The categories are the squad, financial terms, that's totally lit, real-life cartoon characters, 8-letter words, nation of the airlines. Dave, you're up.
The squad for 400.
This part of the LAPD dates back to explosives expert Dwayne Wolford joining the department in 1950. Dave.
What is the bomb squad?
That's right.
Squad for 600.
Supervillains housed at Belle Reve Prison are recruited for this movie title, DC Comics Group. Tom.
What's the Suicide Squad?
Correct.
I'll take Totally Lit for 400.
In a Victor Hugo novel, he tells Esmeralda, don't leave the church. They would kill you and I should die. Dave.
Who is Quasimodo?
Correct.
Lit for 600.
Secretary Della Street is introduced in the 1933 first novel of this defense attorney who almost never loses a case. Tom.
Who is Perry Mason?
Good.
Totally Lit 800.
Nikolai Kirsanov represents the older generation, Bazarov the younger one, in this generationally titled novel by Turgenev. Tom.
What is Fathers and Sons?
That's right.
Totally Lit 1000.
O. Henry told of the ransom of this title kid. So troublesome, his kidnappers pay Dad to take him back. Tom.
What is Red Chief?
Yes.
I will take real-life cartoon characters for 400.
The four lads sing as themselves, but others do their speaking voices in this 1968 animated film. Tom.
What is Yellow Submarine?
Yes.
Real-life cartoon characters 600.
This right-wing radio host joins the Griffins for dinner on Family Guy and assists Brian in a song and dance. Dave.
Who is Rush Limbaugh?
That's right.
Cartoon characters 800.
Mr. Peabody and Sherman find that this explorer's men have drunk too much water from the fountain of youth and turned into babies. Dave.
Who is Ponce de Leon?
Yes.
Squad for 800.
In 2016, Best Buy's Geek Squad ditched its VW Beetles for this Toyota model. Dave.
What is the Prius?
That's right.
8-letter words for 600.
Adjective for something unimportant or something written at the edge of a printed page. Tom.
What is marginal?
Correct.
8-letter words for 800.
Emotion mentioned 7 times in Othello. Tom.
What is jealousy?
Right.
8-letter words for 1,000.
Just before landing, it's when the pilot lines up the plane with the runway. Dave.
What is approach?
Yes.
Squad for 1,000.
A Cleveland Browns owner put reserve players on the payroll of his cab company, hence this name. Tom.
What's the Taxi Squad?
Correct.
Financial terms for 600.
Owning rental property is literally and metaphorically this, a strategy to reduce your IRS obligations. Dave.
What is a write-off?
No. Tom.
What is a tax shelter?
Correct. And that brings us to our first commercial. You're on a roll, Tom. Kathleen, there's plenty of time, don't worry, and we'll be back right after this. And welcome back, everybody. Another day, another great group of contestants. Tom Duffy, you're an engineering manager, originally from Chicago, Illinois. And I understand you're a pretty good bread maker, is that right?
Well, I don't want to be the one to say pretty good. Let somebody else say that. But yeah, I've been making bread for about 15 years now.
Wow, do you have a specialty?
The one my family likes best is a focaccia.
Oh.
It's particularly good in this wood-fired pizza oven that my wife convinced me to buy a few years ago.
Sounds yummy. And do you have the key to the best sourdough starter?
No, that's kind of one of my failings. My wife is never happy with how sour my sourdough is.
Well, keep working on it. Meanwhile, Kathleen McNutt from Skokie, Illinois, is a graduate student. I understand, Kathleen, your husband proposed with a yes-no note?
He did, yes. So we had talked about how we wanted to pick out a ring together. And so when he proposed, he had drawn a picture of a ring on one side of a piece of paper, and on the reverse it said Y/N ? And so of course I said Y.
Yeah. And you meant yes.
Yes.
Yes. And how long have you been married?
It'll be 10 years this year.
All right. Well, sounds like it's a good match. And Dave Pye is back from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. I didn't know that you went to Iceland with your wife for the summer solstice. I did that as well. Did you stay up all night because it never turned dark?
Didn't stay up all night, but myself, my wife, and a few of us were having dinner fairly late in the evening. We didn't realize how late, and then we heard this knocking from the shared wall of our Airbnb, and we were having a bit of a spirited dinner conversation, and turns out it was around midnight, and we were being a little bit too loud for the sleeping neighbors.
It does mess up your body clock. Did you try that weird fermented shark?
We didn't. Iceland is pretty expensive, so we mostly just ended up eating a lot of hot dogs, which are pretty common to find in Iceland.
Okay, sounds delicious. All right, Dave, well, let's finish up this round. Tom, you have control of the board. Where would you like to go?
Let's do financial terms for 800.
In an all-cash real estate deal, this holding of funds by a third party can last just 3 days. Tom.
What's escrow?
That's right.
Financial terms for 1,000.
Videos on sec.gov explain stuff like investment advisors. Fees are based on your assets versus these professionals work on commission. Tom.
What are brokers?
That's correct.
Real-life cartoon characters for 1,000.
Answer. The Daily Double. Tom, you're in the lead. How much do you want to risk?
Think 4,000.
All right, here is your clue. This mystic continues to haunt the Romanovs from beyond the grave in the 1997 cartoon Anastasia.
Who is Rasputin?
That is correct. Voiced by Christopher Lloyd. Keep going.
Nation of the airlines for 400.
Edelweiss Air. Dave.
What is Switzerland?
Yes.
Airline 600.
Air Indus, K2 Airways. Dave.
What is Pakistan?
Correct.
Airline 800.
Canary Fly Iberia. Kathleen.
What is Spain?
Yes.
Airlines 1000.
Yeti Airlines Buddha Air. Dave.
What is Nepal?
Right.
8-letter words 400.
Treatment involving the cleaning, trimming, and polishing of fingernails. Dave.
What is manicure?
Yes.
Nation for 200.
Aegean Air. Dave.
What is Greece?
Yes.
8-letter of 200.
Scalene is one of these with 3 unequal sides. Tom.
What's a triangle?
Correct.
Financial terms for 400.
No matter the temperature, this is a 3-day period after certain purchases when the FTC says you can change your mind. Tom.
What's the cooling off period?
That's correct.
Financial terms for 200.
The part of a security you clip to redeem your dividend, or what you clip out of a magazine to get a discount. Tom.
What's a coupon?
Yes.
That's totally lit 200.
Jonathan Swift's travels into several remote nations of the world is better known by this title. Dave.
What is Gulliver's Travels?
That's right.
Cartoon characters 200.
Sigourney Weaver says, "Hello, I'm Sigourney Weaver," several times as a voice heard in an aquarium in this Pixar sequel. Dave.
What is Finding Dory?
Yes.
Squad for 200.
The final clue. Jennifer Egan won a Pulitzer for the book A Visit from this group. Kathleen.
What is the Goon Squad?
That's right. And that wraps up our first round of Jeopardy. Well done. And up next, Double Jeopardy. Can't wait to see what you all do then. That's right after this. Welcome back, everyone. Time for Double Jeopardy. And Kathleen, you'll be picking first from these categories. A college conference call, art, historic places, spaced out, TOC. Every response has those 3 letters, as in Tournament of Champions. And finally, TV finales. Where would you like to go?
TOC for 400.
At the summer solstice, the sun is directly over this line north of the equator. Tom.
What's the Tropic of Cancer?
Yes.
Can we get TV finales for 400?
The Welcome to Sunnydale sign collapses into the crater that was once the city as the Hellmouth finally closes. Dave.
What is Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Right.
Finales for 800?
Andy and April have a baby. Tom Haverford publishes Failure, an American success story. Dave.
What is Parks and Recreation?
Yes.
Finales for 1200?
The main characters get arrested for violating a Good Samaritan law. Dave.
What is Seinfeld?
You got it.
Finales for 1600?
The title character leaves Miami Metro Police Department behind to become a lumberjack. Kathleen.
What is Dexter?
That's right.
TV finales 2000.
Regina sets out to reunite all the realms in Storybrooke. Tom.
What's Once Upon a Time?
Correct.
Can we have art for 400?
In 2017, this former First Lady chose Amy Sherald to paint her portrait for the National Portrait Gallery. Tom.
It was Michelle Obama.
Yes.
Art for 800.
In the 1940s and 50s, this artist's drip technique opened the way to what was referred to as action painting. Kathleen.
Who is Jackson Pollock?
Right.
Art 1200.
This sleek style is better known in architecture, but was used in painting, as in Tamara de la Pica's 1929 self-portrait. Dave.
What is Art Deco?
Yes.
College conference for 800?
Mid-American, the main campus of this university, is in Athens, with a branch in Zanesville. Dave.
What is Georgia?
No. Kathleen.
What is Ohio University?
Correct.
College conference 1200.
Answer, the Daily Double. Kathleen, you're in third place. You can really help yourself here. What would you like to do?
I'll wager 3000.
All right, here is your clue. Southern. This school was established in 1842 and combined with the Arsenal to form the South Carolina Military Academy.
What is the Citadel?
Yes!
All right, art for 1600.
Alessandro Filipepe, Sandro for short, was the real name of this man who painted La Primavera around 1480. Tom.
Who's El Greco?
No. Dave.
Who is Botticelli?
Yes.
Art for 2000?
Here's Sarah.
Many great artists have called Nuremberg home, including this Renaissance master, renowned for both paintings like his self-portrait and woodcuts like the series The Revelation of St. John.
We were looking for who is Albrecht Dürer. Dave?
Historic places for 800?
The Clark House is this U.S. city's oldest, having survived the Great Fire, though it now stands 2 blocks from its original spot. Dave?
What is Chicago?
Good.
Historic places 1200?
Built in 1779 in Shropshire, England, the world's first iron bridge is in an area called the birthplace of this revolution. Tom?
What's the Industrial Revolution?
Yes.
Historic places for 1600.
In 2000, his widow was in attendance as a monument to him was unveiled near the presidential palace in Santiago, where he died. Kathleen?
Who is Allende?
Correct.
Historic places 2000.
Walk the footsteps of Peter the Great in this Russian equivalent of Versailles, meaning Peter's court, oddly, in Dutch. What is Peterhof? Kathleen, continue.
TOC 800.
It's the tarot card seen here. Tom?
What's the Three of Cups?
Good.
TOC for 1200.
Make this sweet computer change if you want websites to remember you when you revisit them. Tom?
What is Turn On Cookies?
Yes.
TOC for 1600.
One of Bob Barker's first gigs. It's also the name of a New Mexico city. Dave?
What is Truth or Consequences?
That's right.
TOC 2000.
Beginning with its debut in 2006, this cycling race took riders through the Golden State. Kathleen?
What is the Tour of California?
Yes, correct.
Historic places 400.
St. Croix in the U.S. Virgin Islands has a landing site named for this man's visit on November 14, 1493. Kathleen?
Who is Columbus?
Yes.
College conference 400.
Big Sky. Of course, the conference includes the U of this. Alumni include Pulitzer winner A.B. Guthrie Jr., author of The Big Sky. Dave?
What is Montana?
Right.
College conference 16?
Southwestern Athletic. This HBU was once the North Louisiana Agricultural and Industrial School. Go Tigers. What is Grambling State University? Dave?
Do spaced out for 1600?
A group of these, called the Trojans, isn't in the main belt, but follows Jupiter's orbit. Tom?
What are asteroids?
Yes.
Spaced out for 1200.
In 1860, astronomer Leverrier announced a new planet he called this, also a Star Trek planet. It doesn't exist. Kathleen?
What is Vulcan?
Correct.
Spaced out 800.
Another daily double. You're making quite a comeback. What would you like to wager?
I'll wager 3,000.
All right, here's your clue. Term for the first stage of a rocket. It refers to the extra power needed during liftoff.
What is propeller?
Sorry, what is a booster? You can go again, though.
Spaced out 400.
76 years after its discovery, in 2006, Pluto was reclassified as one of these. Tom?
What's a dwarf planet?
Good.
Spaced out for 2000.
Just beyond Neptune's orbit is a collection of icy bodies known as KBOs, objects found in this belt. Dave?
What is the Kuiper Belt?
Correct. And final clue. Patriot League football. This Jesuit university in the Bronx became fully co-ed in 1974. Tom?
What is Fordham?
That's absolutely right. Great round to all of you. When we come back, it's time for Final Jeopardy, and the category is fictional places. So get your wagers ready. I'll have the clue right after this.
We'll be back with Final Jeopardy right after this.
3 great players, 1 final clue, and it will all come down to fictional places. Here is your clue. Introduced to readers in 2008, its name comes from a Latin phrase for bread and circuses, offerings used to appease the masses. You have 30 seconds, players. Good luck. Everyone finished early and looking very confident. Kathleen, let's start with you. What is your response? You wrote, what is Panem? That's correct. It's the country where the Hunger Games books take place. And how much did you wager? 6201, bringing you to a total of 15,601. Next, we go to David Pye, our 2-day champion. You too got what is Panem? What did you wager? 5,801, bringing you to a total of 21,401. And finally, Tom Duffy, 21,400. What is Panem? That's right. And what did you wager? $10,000, bringing you to a total of $31,400. Tom Duffy, congratulations. You are our new Jeopardy champion. And thanks to your great playing, we have raised an additional $34,400 for pancreatic cancer research to the team at Stand Up to Cancer. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Promotional consideration provided by Geico. Jeopardy is also brought to you by